Today's episode is for the 6th of the month of Kislev. We are in the middle of chapter 23 discussing the laws of Torah reading. Today we'll be doing paragraphs 10 through 15. Paragraph 10. Let's say there's only one Kohen in Shul and he's in the middle of davening, he's in the middle of praying, so he's not really available to get an aliyah. So if he's in the middle of the Psuke de Zimra section of davening, then you're supposed to call him up, he should make the blessings, but he shouldn't be reading along that section with the Torah reader. He should just make the blessings and stay silent the rest of the time. If he's in the middle of the blessings of Shema, then they shouldn't call him up, they should call up somebody else instead, call up a Levi, call up a Yisrael. However, if they didn't realize that and they do call him up, he should go up and make the blessings, and again, not read along the Torah with the Torah reader. If he's in the middle of Shemona Esrei when they call him up, then they shouldn't have called him up again, of course. But if they do call, and even if they call him up, then he still does not go up. He keeps praying Shemona Esrei, unless he's in that last paragraph, which is really at the end of Shemona Esrei, called Elokai Netzor. If he's in that last paragraph, then he does go up. Otherwise, they just call somebody up instead. The same rules apply to a Levi as well. Paragraph 11. Let's say the Gabbai calls up somebody to make a blessing on the Torah, to get an aliyah, and that person isn't in the shul. So if that person is a Kohen, then they don't call up another Kohen by name. They'll motion to another Kohen, come over and take this aliyah, but they won't call him up by name, because if the congregation hears you called up Kohen A, and then afterwards you called up Kohen B, maybe Kohen A is not really a Kohen. Maybe that's why they called up Kohen B. Therefore, you don't want to call somebody else up by name. You just tell another Kohen, come make a blessing, but you don't call him up by name. However, if it's the son of the original person that you called up, then it's okay to call him up by name, because if the son is a valid Kohen, certainly the father is a valid Kohen as well. Now, in the paragraph before this, back in paragraph 10, we talked about a case where the Kohen was in the middle of davening Shemona Esrei, and you call him up, he can't stop the middle of Shemona Esrei to come get his aliyah. In that case, you could call up another Kohen by name, because everyone sees the reason he's not going up is because he's davening Shemona Esrei. It's not that there's some problem with his Kohen lineage. Let's say you call up a Yisrael to get the third aliyah on, and he's not there. In that case, you could call up another Yisrael, another person to get the aliyah. You could use their name to call them up, because the only concern that we have with the Kohen is that people might think he's not a valid Kohen, but he's still Jewish. Nobody's going to think he's not Jewish. So the Yisrael, also, no one's going to ever think he's not Jewish, and people realize he must not be here. That's why I'm calling up somebody else instead. There's no way to passel up to invalidate your Jewishness. Or at least there's no concern for that, at least. And therefore you call up another replacement Yisrael by using his name. On Shabbos and on holidays, we have last aliyah is called maftir. That aliyah can be given to a Kohen, to Yisrael, to anybody. So over there, if you called up a Kohen and he's not available or he's not there, then you could call up another Kohen or another person in his place and use a name, because since that aliyah is not dependent upon being a Kohen, nobody will question the Kohen lineage of the first person you called up. Paragraph 12. Let's say the guy looks around, doesn't see any Kohen, and he calls up a Yisrael, or a Levi for that matter. And as that person starts making the blessing, somebody pipes up, wait, I'm a Kohen. Or let's say as the person starts making the blessing, a Kohen walks into shul. What do you do? Does this first person go down? Does the Kohen take over? Or do you say once he started the blessing, then the Yisrael continues and he gets the aliyah? So it depends how far along he is in the blessing. If he said only Baruch Hu es Hashem HaMvarach, that first line, then we do give it to the Kohen. The Kohen takes it over. If, however, he started the blessing part of it, he said, Baruch Ata Hashem, blessed are you God, and he said God's name, at that point, the Yisrael stays up there. The Kohen loses out on getting the aliyah. Now, in the first case, where the Kohen did get up there in time, it's not so fair to the Yisrael that he's going to get knocked out, and it's also embarrassing for him. So therefore, the Yisrael should stay up there, and then when we get to the Yisrael aliyah, he should get that aliyah. The same thing applies if you didn't know there was a Levi in shul, or there was no Levi in shul, then a Levi came in. After you gave this aliyah to the second aliyah, if there's no Levi in shul, the Kohen gets the Levi aliyah. It's the same thing. If the Levi walks in just as the Kohen is beginning the blessing for the second aliyah, or if they didn't realize Levi was there and the Kohen begins the second blessing and then realize, same thing. If the Kohen had said Baruch Hu Hashem HaMvarach and stopped over there, then the Levi takes over. If he already said that God's name, Baruch Ata Hashem, and he said God's name, then the Levi does not get that blessing anymore. He lost his chance. Paragraph 13. There are certain family members that we do not call up to get an aliyah one after the next. Anyone that are brothers, whether they're full brothers or half brothers, we don't call them up to get an aliyah one after the next. We don't call up a father and a son to get an aliyah one after the next. We don't even call up a father and a grandson to get an aliyah one after the next. Now, if you accidentally did and they started making the blessing, then they stay up there. Let's say you call them up and they say, you can't call me up because I'm his brother. So what do? They didn't begin making the blessing yet. Could he go up or not? So if they are brothers from the father, or it's a father and son, then they should not go up for that aliyah. However, if it's two brothers who are related, who share a mother, they're half brothers and only share a mother, or it's a father and a grandson, then they could go up. And in these last two cases of brothers that are half brothers from a mother, or a father or a grandfather and grandson, in those two cases, then if there's a case of necessity, there's some simcha in the family, a lot of people in the family have to get aliyahs, then you could give an aliyah to two half brothers with a mother, or a father and a grandfather and grandson if it's a case of necessity. Paragraph 14. Let's say somebody is in one minyan, they're in one shul, they get an aliyah, and then they happen to be in the other shul, of the leading, and they call him up to give him an aliyah again. So could he go up again? He already got an aliyah that day. The answer is that yes, he could go up again. Even if he gets an aliyah for the same exact section of Torah that's being read as he got an aliyah previously, there's still nothing wrong with getting a second aliyah. Paragraph 15. On fast days, read the Torah in the morning and in the afternoon. But you're only supposed to give an aliyah to somebody who's fasting. There's a special fast day Torah reading, and you're only supposed to get an aliyah if you're fasting that day. If somebody has a medical condition or some other reason that they're not fasting, they're not supposed to get an aliyah. So let's say there's only one kohen in shul, and that kohen happens to not be fasting. Does he get an aliyah or not? The answer is that he does not get an aliyah. We give the aliyah to a Levi or to Yisrael who's fasting. Now, if possible, it's appropriate for the kohen to step out of shul right before lading starts. Therefore, it's not like in your face to the kohen that he's not getting the aliyah. But even if he stays in shul, still the aliyah goes to a Levi or Yisrael. Not only that, let's say they call up the kohen to get an aliyah. He has to tell them, "I'm sorry, I'm not fasting today," and then they would send up a Levi or Yisrael instead to get that aliyah. The one exception to this is if the fast day ended up on a Monday morning or Thursday morning, when there's always Torah reading, and they accidentally call up the kohen who's not fasting. In that case, because on Monday mornings and Thursday mornings, anyways, the kohen's supposed to go first. And here, even though he's not fasting, once they called him up, we'll let him go up and let him get that aliyah. This concludes today's episode. Have a wonderful day, and see you on the next episode.